Are we on? Are we on?
You know what time it is.
Yeah, see that smoky on the backside.
What now? Segway? Yep. Automatically cut me off.
It's time for Two Guys and a Beer.
That won't be happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sit back, relax, as these guys
Hashtag us. Well, yeah, I mean, but I mean...
talk everything from sports to sex and anything in between.
Come here, let me hug you. You know, take the win.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's hilarious.
You're lying.
Yeah, my crap don't stink.
Can't get a word in edgewise. I would be like, you know what? I'm coming to this doctor all the time. Bam, you can leave the show. Can't get a word in edgewise.
And now, here's your host.
Thank you very much. Welcome to another episode of Two Guys and a Beer. And I'm your host, Scott, along with my co-host, who would like to be known from henceforth and forevermore as
McNasty. I'm kidding.
I thought you wanted to be called cock number 2 or something.
No. I don't want to be two cock.
Well, you could be a rapper, two cock.
Number 2.
You're number 2? My number 2.
Zip it.
Nope. Don't say nothing.
Scotty's on fire.
On this episode, we are episode number 12. It has been a dozen shows. You believe that, Jason? A dozen.
I can.
You can. And, the premise of the show is two guys and a beer. When the beer is gone, the show is over. Today is September the 16th, 2013. Come along for the ride. Hey, before we get started, though, we're going to pause a minute for a little word.
Wait. Ring the bell.
Oh, you know what? School is in session. Did the school bell not ring?
I didn't hear the bell.
No, the bell rang. School's in session. All right, but before we get started into this too far, we're going to take a little pause and hear from the guys at GF6.
GF6.com. We are everything Xbox. Game forums, game reviews, cash prize tournaments, Madden leagues, podcasts, movie reviews, and more. You can buy games in our game market for 80% less than retail. You can sell your games in our market and get fair market value. List all your games for free. Create your own gamer profile. Post your videos and get your hands on exclusive GF6 gear like the Dirty Hoodie to show off your GF6 pride. Join the GF6 Nation today. Go to www.gfsix.com. GF6. Join the GF6 Nation.
Join the GF6 Nation on gf6.com. All right, Jason, tell me a little bit about college football this weekend. There were no surprises, were there?
Besides the fact that Alabama almost lost.
I don't know how you say that.
42-45 or something like that.
It wasn't that close.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't. Don't make me Google it.
Google it. It was I believe a 7-point deficit or under a 7-point deficit. And the Aggies blew it, man.
42-42, 49-42.
Okay, so 7-point deficit.
All right, but they scored, but Texas A&M scored 21 points in the final quarter.
Yeah.
And Alabama only scored 7.
Yeah.
And Texas A&M scored that last touchdown right there, and they had to get an they had like 4 seconds, had to get an onside kick, so it wasn't that close, in my opinion. They
went up 14-0 in the first quarter. You act like 14-0.
And then Alabama scored.
You act like it was a blowout. It was.
No, Tennessee was a blowout.
That was, but that was impressive.
Blowout.
Tennessee went down to Eugene and scored the first touchdown of the game after Oregon had the ball. So Tennessee's not bad. They're just young with a new coach.
Yeah, but it was still a blowout.
No,
You're right.
Yeah, it was real bad. I mean, there was almost an upset. The Planet Cron, or Akron, Ohio, almost beat Michigan. Or is that Akron, Ohio? Yeah, Akron.
That would have been an upset.
Yeah, they actually were on the 5-yard line with a chance to win in the final seconds, and they were leading Michigan with 3 or 4 minutes to go. So I would have absolutely loved to see that. And I actually learned that they call it the Planet Cron from a lady while we were in Maryville, Tennessee. She lives in Michigan.
Oh, so you learn something new every day.
Yep, Planet Cron. Shout out to the Planet Cron.
Well, I don't think anybody thought that Alabama was going to blow out Texas A&M, especially not Texas A&M. Johnny Football had a good showing, and
turnovers is what killed
turnovers
them.
Killed them. Yeah, turnovers killed them.
They had they had the pick six.
Yep.
Alabama, I say Alabama had the pick six. So yeah, you're right. Turnovers devastate you. Florida lost last week to Miami. 6 turnovers in the game. You can't beat anybody with 6 turnovers.
And so it looks like Alabama's got pretty clear sailing from here on out. And so they should go undefeated.
Well, they should. You never know. I mean, it is the SEC, and you can always slip up. Last year, nobody thought A&M was going to beat Alabama, and A&M did. But
this game shows Alabama some vulnerability.
Well, to me, it doesn't show vulnerability.
The V word.
The V word, vulnerability. Did I say that right? Anyhow, it doesn't show that to me. It shows that they can withstand getting hit in the mouth a bunch and still win the game. Because
Alabama's always had that.
Not always, but
I say always in the past 3-4 years.
But this year, to me, Alabama, this was their chance that they wasn't going to the national championship and win it. And now after this, I look at Alabama and go,
we don't see anybody
tough.
Can unseat them.
Yeah, they're tough. I mean, Georgia has a very good offense. They have a good running game. Aaron Murray showed in the South Carolina game that he can be somebody to reckon with. But Aaron Murray is as streaky as Will Ferrell in old school. So you really never know with Georgia. Florida could sneak up and win the East and beat them. Tough. I don't see our offense being that powerful. But yeah, you're right. Alabama's. I don't see any kind of weakness in their armor right now. Besides the defensive backs, Manziel kind of showed that they don't have the one-on-one shutdown corners that they used to have, but they're pretty good. What's
incredible to me, or what's impressive, is you take a college which has turnover every year, and you're losing players every year, and you take a coach and recruiting coaching staff that's able to bring in new. I mean, of course, reputation helps. We talked about this a long time ago. When you've got a reputation as a winning team, good players want to play there. Florida, had helped them so much in their recruiting. Always being there with a chance to win the national championship really helps you, and I'm sure it helps Alabama. But it's just amazing to me you can do that. You just bring in good players and keep a solid team year after year.
Yeah, I mean, Alabama never has the greatest quarterback, which, a lot of teams try to go after that number one recruit quarterback. Alabama never has him. But you're right, they always have a high turnover rate of really good players, and it's normally running backs. I don't know how or who gets them, but they always have good running backs. You look right now in the NFL, and you just look at any team roster almost, and you see Alabama players. I mean, Eddie Lacy, running back, just got knocked out last game, but he plays for Green Bay. You got Mark Ingram, plays for New York. You got Trent Richardson, plays with Cincinnati, I believe, or Cleveland, one of the two. And then the defensive players, you can't even go through them and name all of them. It's just amazing.
So let me ask you a question. You're a head coach at football, college football head coach. You got a choice between getting a great running back and a great quarterback. Which one are you going to go for?
Quarterback.
Why?
Because he's the leader of your team. He has to be the leader of your team.
All right, but I think
without a good line.
Well, without a good line, you're right. But if you've got a decent line, assuming everything's decent, you've got a decent line, decent corners, decent defense, but you've got either an outstanding running back, the guy who's going to get 100 yards a game, or you've got an outstanding quarterback, I'm going to go for the running back.
See, in the end, I believe Alabama's. I can understand your running back situation, but in the end, I believe Alabama's solution for success or the reason why they've been so successful is because their defense isn't gross. It's absolutely filthy, and that's that old adage: defense wins championships.
Yeah, if the other team can't score on you, you don't have to get 3 points.
That's all you got to get. And so, I mean, this year Alabama's, like I said, Johnny Manziel is the best quarterback they're going to face all year. He's the best quarterback in the NCAA. And they had a 6'5" wide receiver who will make anybody look bad. I don't care who they're playing against. But Alabama doesn't have the defense that they once had. That's obvious by they had 42 points scored on them. When's the last time you heard Alabama had 42 points scored on them? You know, so their team is really good. I don't see them losing. I think what's going to end up happening is it's going to be Alabama, which Alabama always might. You know, they always have to play the East in the SEC championship game. So at that point, they'll have to meet Georgia or Florida, or possibly South Carolina. You never know. Florida beats South Carolina. Georgia could slip up against an LSU. You never know. But they'll play one of the three powerhouses in the East, and they could slip up that game. I don't see it happening, but they could. But eventually I'm going to remove my prediction now that we've been a couple weeks into college football and tell you that it's going to be Alabama-Louisville or Alabama-Clemson. That's the game. That's the national championship game right there. Then Alabama will see another really good, fast, mobile, good-in-the-pocket quarterback.
All right, we'll have to see if that comes true.
It's going to come true.
Well, let's talk a minute about the Falcons.
We look good this week.
You know, I heard a stat, and I was going to look it up. I didn't have a chance to look it up, but I heard one of the announcers say that Atlanta has not lost back-to-back games since the 90s. Late 90s, something like 99 or
I don't
90s.
believe that.
I thought that was kind of strange.
Because we had too many losing records. We've had too many losing records not to have lost back-to-back games. But one thing I will tell you is S-Jax got hurt, or when I say S-Jax, for anybody who might not be a Falcons fan, Steven Jackson got hurt on his touchdown scoring play. And for all, practical purposes, without Steven Jackson, we're the same team we are last year. That's a team who can't run the ball and can't run the clock. And it showed in the end of that game. Matt Ryan was passing the ball to run the clock out, and which Snelling ended up getting him a touchdown, which pretty much sealed the game.
All right.
But without Steven Jackson, we're the same offense we were. We're dynamic. We're dynamic when we need to be. First half, we scored 21 points. That was, we were up 21-0. That was with the defensive interception return. But then we just kind of sputtered after that.
Yeah, we did.
And I hate seeing that. We don't kill. We don't go for the jugular. We don't beat a team 42-7.
I know.
You know what I mean? We don't just absolutely put it on them.
We keep them in the game.
They stay in the game the whole time. Then as a Falcons, I would love to just nap during the second half of a Falcons game. You know what I mean? But I can't because it's normally not that possible. It's not possible because I'm glued to the TV. I get upset. I just leave. No, I was wrong. The Falcons hadn't lost a back-to-back regular season game since December 6th of 2009. Okay, now that makes sense.
2009. That's still 28 games.
Here's a stat for you. Since Mike Tomlin has been the head coach for the Steelers, he has never been 2 games under 500. If they lose tonight, he will be. That's impressive.
Yeah.
I think he's been the coach there for like 9 or 10 or 15 years or something. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Not 15. He's been about 9 or 10 years. I think he's been there 9.
So the Falcons look good enough to keep winning.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're in Carolina. It's always weird. Like Carolina's not that good. They just get beat by the Bills, and the Bills aren't that good. They got a rookie quarterback, and rookie quarterbacks can step up and surprise you. Everybody saw RG3, Russell Wilson, Kaepernick, Andrew Luck. That last year, all those rookie quarterbacks were in the playoffs. But Carolina's not that good. Tampa Bay, they're looking to trade Josh Freeman more than likely. So they're not going to have a starting quarterback worth anything. And the Drew Brees is Drew Brees. So we were right there. Should have beat them last week. In the Superdome at their place. So the Saints are always going to be tough for us. But I think we'll make it to the playoffs. Steven Jackson will come back. I think we'll be all right.
All right, let's hope so. All right, in case you don't in case you don't remember or you hadn't followed this the first show, remember if you want to play golf, we're going to jump from football to golf. If you'd like to play golf with a legendary Atlanta Braves baseball coach Bobby Cox and our own show host Jason McNasty, all you got to do is give us a tweet, shout us out on Facebook, and come up with $175. And all that money goes to the United Way up in White County United Way in Helen, Georgia. It's a great course up there, and that'll happen in April. So Jason's on a foursome with Bobby Cox, and right now we have 2 other slots to fill, which won't be any problem. But we're going to give before we open it up to anybody else, we're giving it to our listeners. So shout us out, tweet us at beer_guys, or on Facebook, facebook.com/2guysandAbeer.
Beer.
All right, Jason.
All right, Scott.
This marks a milestone in your life. You're getting ready to start a brand new job. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I'm going to work with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. I'm kind of nervous about it because it's actually the sign of me being an adult now.
I know you had to shave. You had to actually shave and everything.
Yeah. When you're a manager of a restaurant, you do whatever you want to. You grow a beard if you want to. Especially at the restaurant I worked at, where there was really no kind of procedure, procedure set in place with that. But with this job, it's a 49-hour a week job, and you make hourly wage, but you get benefits, and it's a big picture job, is what it is. It's a you work this job for a year, 8 months, and then you move up into the bigger jobs, and you make more money. And so I'm just looking at the big picture, trying to figure out how a business is run, a successful business.
Well, we're looking forward to it. We're excited about it. You'll be away.
If you need to rent a car,
hey, see Jason.
Come see me
in Savannah,
Abercorn Street.
On Abercorn Street, right down the road. And you need to think about this now that you got your new job. You need to always be on Lombardi time. You know what Lombardi time is?
Winning time?
No. Of course, you know who Vince Lombardi is. That would be insulting for me to even act like you wouldn't know who Vince Lombardi is. But his famous saying was, "If you show up to practice on time, you're 15 minutes late."
Oh yeah, believe that.
And in fact, the clocks at Lambeau Field in Green Bay are set to 15 minutes ahead of regular time. That was a little interesting fact you may not have known. So be on Lambeau time and think that if you show up on time, you're 15 minutes late.
I'm gonna. It's one of those things where I'm living. I live 45 minutes from the job. That's with traffic now, and job starts at 8. I don't remember the last time I got up Monday through Friday at 6:30.
Certainly hadn't done it while you've been staying here with us. I guarantee.
Well, I get up every morning around 8. Yeah,
and then you scratch your balls for about 30 minutes before you decide if you're going to put on any clothes.
Yeah, well, I do that. I get up and come do that. I eat some cereal and stuff, but it's you got to grow up as far as you got to grow up and get a big boy job, and you can't work in a restaurant forever, or you can, but you'll always be serving people, and you never be that person on the other side, or you will be, but you don't consistently be that other person. And if you're in a restaurant, you're not really saving money for retirement or anything like that.
Yeah, this will be real good for you.
But
what else is going on
in my life or in the world?
Well, just in the world.
Well, you heard about the gunman, right?
Yeah, that's crazy, and that's still going on right now.
Yeah.
The naval base there, and police are searching, they say, for 2 more potential shooters.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And that's at the Navy Yard there, Washington Navy Yard, and they don't know why. They don't know what's going on.
What's crazy to me is I don't know if this stuff is just more reported now. If news agencies are just, I guess a gunman would always be reported, but I don't know if it's because it's so readily available that we know about it right when it happens, because tweets, cell phones, things like that. But it just seems like this stuff is happening very frequently. Shooters going somewhere into a public place and killing people for no reason in America. You almost correlate it directly with how the Middle East is, except it's not as dangerous. There's not bombs going off in nightclubs and things like that. But what point is it just like that?
Yeah, I'd like to know what goes through the mind of somebody who decides he's going to go take out as many people as he can. I mean, I just what got your life
Spree killer.
to that point to where you just said, you know what, I'm going to go in this mall and I'm just going to kill as many people as I can kill. I don't quite understand, and of course I don't understand any of it. But I mean, I can't even wrap my head around that particular motivation. And that's something that you don't read much about where we've been able to understand that or find a motivation for that.
Well, you know, it's like just think about a killer, a man killing a woman or a woman killing a man, a lover's quarrel type thing, where they killed the other person and then they kill themselves because nobody's going to have them if they can't have them. They're just going to die themselves too, where they can be with them.
Yeah, you understand that's emotional motivation.
Right, and this has to be some kind of emotional something. It has to be something in there. I mean, I don't know, like you said, I don't know exactly, and I don't understand it because I never get the urge just to go up and shoot them all up. But, you know, it's...
And, you know, it's not the same type of rage, because that type of rage, when you kill your lover, you kill your husband, wife, boyfriend, whatever, that comes on fairly quick, and it's, you know, if you have some time to think about it, usually it dissipates. I say usually, but...
have you ever thought about killing somebody?
No, you know, as a former law enforcement officer,
LEO,
you know, I've been in a lot of situations where I actually could have killed somebody, legit, you know, and been justified for it, but it was just not something that I really even relished the thought of.
How about the time where you were harassing an African American on the street, and you went to pat him down?
I wasn't harassing him.
And you thought he had a gun.
Yeah, all right, listen, I don't remember telling you that story, but I must have been intoxicated when I told that to you. First off, I was not harassing him.
You were harassing
No, I
him.
wasn't. He was, we were having a burglary issue, and he was in amongst the, and if it wouldn't have been the same difference if he was white, other than he wouldn't have had that big gun in his pants.
What about an Indian?
All right. Well, we're going to talk about Indians in a minute, but in that particular case, the guy was wearing jogging pants, and
you don't have to explain yourself to me.
I just you brought this subject up, and so you know you're patting the guy down, and you know you don't expect to feel things in certain areas, and so you know when
around his knees,
yeah. So when I hit it down there, I'm like, what is that? You know, and I kind of...
You stumble back and grab at your gun. Let's tell
the
story
No,
how it
I didn't do
happened.
that. I just kind of patted a little bit more and went, oh, I know what that is. You know, okay.
And did he eventually say, that's my
He did.
Johnson?
He said,
white boy?
He said, you never felt one down that low, have you, boy?
I would have been like, no.
I've been like, you know, that's nasty. I don't want to. Don't talk to me. That was a Reno 911.
Move along, sir.
Move along, sir. Nothing to say
along.
here. That was a Reno 911 moment
Dangle.
if there ever was one. Dangle. Yeah. So speaking of Indians, and I know I like to do this speaking of thing, Twitter exploded last night. Did it not explode?
Listen, here's just a couple of tweets that I found. All right. And the Arab wins Miss America. Classic.
Crazy.
Hold on. I swear I'm not racist, but this is America.
Yeah. I'm not racist, but I hate everybody that ain't white and Anglo-Saxon.
Let's see here. Let's see. I want to get to the better ones. 9/11 was 4 days ago, and she is Miss America.
Oh, my gosh.
Nice slap in the face to the people of 9/11, ABC.
Yeah, like
pathetic.
ABC had something to do with that.
Let's see here. Congratulations, Al Qaeda. Miss America is now yours. There's all kind of terrorist ones up here, and then this one is Miss America is brought to you by their sponsors, P.F. Chang's and 7-Eleven.
You know what?
You just can't.
I know you can't make it up.
You know, even these are not any of my friends, but
just people.
Yeah,
you just search the hashtag. You know, Miss America, right?
Right, and some of the people from my own friends group was saying stuff like, this is America, or can't believe that an Arab is in Miss America.
First off, she's not Arab.
Yeah, not at all.
She
did a Bollywood
India.
dance.
Yeah, she's from India. She's got India heritage. And, at first when they said she was Indian, I thought she was Native American. I thought that's what they meant. But then I go and I say, no, that's Indian.
Yeah, they meant like an Indian.
India. Yeah, from the country of India.
Yeah.
And
but the thing is, I'm pretty sure she was born in America.
Oh, I'm sure she was. She just has Indian descent,
and she's hot.
She's hot.
She's not just hot; she's smoking.
I mean, she's
the dance she did was actually really cool.
But she's a little dark.
No, I don't. That's her makeup.
She's a little dark, and she has Caucasian features. I mean, so she has.
One thing I don't care about is skin color. All right, she is sexy, and she probably deserved Miss America.
But you know what I don't like? Here's what I don't like.
And she did. Let me tell you something. Her dance she did. I get back what you don't like in a second, but the dance she did, I swear to God, I was in awe by it. My mouth was my mouth was open the whole time.
You pretty much do that when I dance.
No, not at all.
You come on, dude. You're always imitating my dance. You like it. You really.
Your dance is kind of Bollywood. If I'm leaving, I don't even know how to. No.
But she did. She is cute. She did have a great. She's
cute.
still on a great.
Cute.
No, I mean she's.
She is beautiful.
Yeah, but listen, it's creepy for me to say she's beautiful.
Why? She's 20, 22.
Well, that's younger than you, so I couldn't. I'm as your dad.
You read Playboy
for the articles. You said it right. I read Playboy for the articles.
Yeah, and you never look at the pictures.
Never
either.
do. I go by them pretty quick.
Yeah, whatever.
But she is very attractive. She is she deserves to win, but here's what I don't like. I don't like that New York won twice in a row.
Well, I don't care if New York. Miss Georgia was there. She was in it. She was in the top 10, I believe, or the top 8 or something. Miss Georgia's really hot. Carly Mathis, I believe, is her name, and she was very beautiful. She's a classic beauty, blonde haired, blue eyes, unbelievably pretty. But she sang a song from Les Miserables, and it's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There was a random fact about her is she has 2 different size feet.
Really?
Miss Georgia, which I do too. So how are you doing, Miss Georgia?
So how about the girl with the tattoo? Where'd she wind up?
Miss Kansas. She didn't make it either, and a lot of people were upset about that because she was in the Army. She's got a tattoo. She likes to hunt. She wanted her talent to be archery, but
they wouldn't let her.
They won't let her because you can't have flying projectiles. And a lot of people really liked her. I would have liked to seen her get up there in the top 3. Well, and
I
Miss
like
Florida.
her.
Miss Florida was in there, and I think the top 3 or the top 5. I don't think they were all brunettes and none were blonde. And that probably outraged the blonde community.
But you know what? They're a dying breed anyway, right? That's a recessive gene. It's going away eventually. That's what I read one time.
I heard about redheads too. I heard that about redheads. And there's a redhead there. She got kicked out too, and I was kind of upset because she was really pretty. I like the redheads.
I like redheads
because the thing about a redhead is they're either hot or they're not.
Yeah, there's no in between.
There's no in between a redhead. No.
And you know what? The other thing about redheads, they're either slutty or they're not. I don't know. I just had to throw that in.
I thought that was about all girls and men too.
But I didn't. Speaking of Miss Kansas, I didn't like her ink. I don't.
You didn't like the Serenity Prayer?
You know what? Serenity prayers are great. I don't have a problem with that.
I thought it looked sexy.
No. To me, writing on a person is not sexy.
That was
now
sexy.
Designs. Had that writing been in a design that you would have seen the design first, then the writing, that would have been super cool. Because it would show some thought. You would have said, "I'm gonna say this, but then I'm gonna make it into a design."
I think you're being retarded.
You can't say that. That is politically incorrect.
Hey, in the opening of the show it says 2 politically incorrect guys.
Well, that's just a promo. But we have to be sensitive because at one time we thought you were retarded. But
you can't say that. That's politically incorrect.
But testing proved that you're just slow. Okay,
you can't say that.
So anyway,
but you know what's funny about that joke? It wasn't, and you're the only person who laughed.
Well, because it was me. I can do that.
Yeah, you like to laugh at yourself.
I do.
I oftentimes hear you laughing when you're shaving. Or in the shower, and then I realized.
Okay, let's get off of that.
Hey, one time I was in the bathroom stall. Hey, here's a joke for you though. If you're ever in a bathroom stall and a guy walks in and spits in the toilet, just calmly look over at him and say, "It's a little crazy that you just put a penis in your hand, your mouth started watering." Penis in your hand make your mouth water?
Yeah. You know what? Let me tell you what you really do. The best thing to do is to go into a stadium, go into a public place that has a men's urinal, and go in there with your 10-year-old son and stand up there at the urinal, and with the thing just crowded, look over there and glance down and go, nice dick.
Yeah, and then you look like a pervert.
He'll kill you. You remember when I did that to you?
Yeah, but you could do that to me, and that's fine, whatever. I was a little upset, but you're the one who looked like Jerry Sandusky.
Well, nothing funny about Jerry, but I'm just saying it embarrassed you, and I got a good kick out of that.
You know, speaking of urinals, at Wrigley Field, damn it, you just got me on speaking of. I can't believe I just said that.
You did that too.
But urinals, it's because you do it too much. Anyhow, urinals at Wrigley Field, you have to go down to like the basement of Wrigley Field almost. And the men's bathroom, there's only one. There's only one bathroom at Wrigley Field for 30,000 people. And we'll just say 15 of those are men. And they're all drinking beer. So there's one urinal. You know how they do it? It's one of those troughs, right? And you go in the bathroom, and the line is moving. So you're peeing
walking
as you're walking. I swear to God. You're peeing as you're walking.
That's pretty cool.
And then if you get to the end...
And you still peeing?
And you're still peeing, you better get it. And people will literally be like, move, buddy. Hey, buddy, move.
Well, they're going to pee on you as you go by.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You're walking.
It's the pee walk.
Yeah, you're walking as you're peeing. I swear.
Pee walk.
I had some people tell me about it. They were like, it's kind of fun, but if you really got to pee, you better just push because you ain't got that long.
So the old guy with the prostate problem, he's in trouble. He's in trouble.
He's probably just wearing a diaper there, or he's just peeing on himself. Old people can pee on themselves, and that's okay.
Oh, my gosh. I had to say, I don't want to see that. Oh,
can you imagine that, though? I've peed so long before that I'd probably have to squeeze it off and get back in line.
Just hold it while you walk around, and you turn around, you walk around, and you've got it out, too, but you're holding it.
That's so the worst. Yeah,
you're like, hey, can I break in line? Hey, I really got to break in line.
That's when you just turn around and piss on the floor. Sorry, the line moved too fast. These guys have small bladders. I'm a man.
Oh, it was too much beer, guys. I'm sorry. Oh my God!
You don't wait. You don't wait until you really
you
have
gotta
to
go.
You just go when you go.
Just go. Or just pee in the cup you bought the beer in. I bet there's a bunch of that goes on.
Oh, there has to be.
You know it.
There's a couple of people. I can't remember one of the guy's name, but he literally talks so much trash about Wrigley Field. Like people in Chicago hate him because he's like, it's the worst stadium I've ever been in because it's old. Let's face it. I mean, he talks openly about how
it was
awful.
built for a different time.
Yeah, he talks about how awful it is. I mean, you remember when we went to Wrigley Field? I mean, I was 13. I was about 15.
No, it wasn't Wrigley Field.
Not Wrigley Field,
Boston.
Boston, yeah. Golly,
Fenway.
I forgot the name of the park. Fenway. And I was about, 15?
Yeah, you were not driving yet,
I was about 15, 200 pounds or so.
Yeah.
Kind of a big kid, and I could barely sit down. Yeah. And I was 15.
Yeah, it was a different time and a different built for a different era. But
there are people now who could not sit in Wrigley Field in the on the seats above the dugouts. Those things are too small.
But do you get rid of them? Do you get rid of the?
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Some people don't. Some people don't want them to, but you go to a park like Camden Yards in Baltimore, which is absolutely amazing.
Or the Brave Stadium, and
the worst part about Turner Field.
Not Turner Field anymore. It's
Fulton County. It's Turner Field now.
Okay, it's Turner Field. It used to be Fulton County Stadium.
Yeah, I don't know where he was going with that, but you go there, and you're in the projects. You're in the ghetto of the ghettos. People, I mean, I don't like going to Turner Field because I feel bad that I don't give change to people because I get hit up for it every 3 steps. You're in. I mean, it's true. I'm not being. It's true.
It is.
You're in. That's where the Olympics were, and you're in the ghetto. You're literally in the ghettoest of the ghetto. I'm not being racist or mean or anything. It's just where you're at.
Well, but
the same thing with New York's new park. It's in the worst part of New York, where the Yankees play. You take a subway all the way into it because there's no parking. And it's a bad place to be.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you should do the same with the Braves with Turner Field, unless you're going to stay in that hotel right across the street behind it. And in fact, their hotels back there are fenced in for security.
But to get back to the original point, is a lot of people don't want them to get rid of those seats, but you got to update the stadium. You got to. I'm sorry, or just make it, or I thought the Yankees, I guess in New York you can't do it, but I really would have liked them to turn Old Yankee Stadium into a museum.
Yeah.
Because, all the people that played there, Babe Ruth, Roger Maris, Lou Gehrig, Mickey Mantle, you could go on and on and on for days about Yankees that played there. And I think it would have been pretty cool to go out there and have kids run the bases that's never been there and things like that.
But, if it's in, but in the ghetto, in the part of the
but that's not the old one. The old one wasn't.
Oh, well. Okay, I know what you're saying. Oh, I didn't hear that, yeah.
But, with Fenway's not in a bad spot.
Didn't seem to be, but I don't live up there, so I can't. We walked to it, so it couldn't have been.
Yawkey way.
Didn't feel bad to us. So, well, on the other thing, sports. Something happened this last week that just shocked the crap out of me. I don't follow it, but shocked me. But U.S. beat Mexico in soccer.
But Mexico's been through some turbulent times here lately. They have they just got their third coach within like 2 weeks.
Yeah, but to me that's like Mexico beating the U.S. in basketball or something. I just don't.
Nah.
Yeah, no.
U.S. soccer is getting big, man.
Getting big.
It's getting a lot bigger.
I know, but
Mexico will never. I say will never. Will more than likely never beat the United States in basketball. But
is it because they're too short?
Yes. But there's the type of athlete in Mexico is just that. They're just it's just not possible right now. It's hard for me. It'd be hard that anybody beats the United States in basketball. Now I know it happened a couple of years ago, but our basketball program or whatever is stupid. We create all the best athletes in basketball: jumpers, shooters, whatever you want. We got them,
and after they retire, they turn into diplomats.
Yeah, diplomats, saving the world.
Saving the world,
Dennis Rodman.
One dictator at a time.
Speaking of, I ain't gonna say speaking of,
just did.
No, but I stopped. Syria, latest on Syria is they've agreed to let the UN inspect them, and we know how good the UN does.
Oh, that situation's been resolved then.
It's all right, Syria.
Yep. You just opened your doors. We're good to go now. Do whatever you want to do. Well, it looks like the beer is just about over. You got anything left to? And with you going off to your big boy job in the sky down there in Savannah, it looks like we may have to be doing these podcasts via Skype or FaceTime, and the audio's not on your end. Probably not going to sound quite as good.
Yeah, well, you never know. We might could figure it out and fix it. With all the troubles that we've had recently, because you're a little incompetent on the board. It might take us a couple times.
Anytime you want to run this board, you're welcome to it. But I notice you always come in and sit down over there. You don't want the board.
The first show we ever had, or we did, it was always you over there sitting at your desk like the high and mighty king you think you are.
Hail, all hail.
Yeah, so whatever.
I'm King Julian.
I don't get that reference.
Julian and
Madagascar.
Yeah, Madagascar.
Hey. I like to move it.
All right, well, the beer's gone. We've had fun, and we're glad you showed up, tuned in. Come back to the next episode. And
wait, I did have.
Wait a minute, you did have what?
I was just thinking about, but I forgot it. It was something Ron did, and I'll just think about it and talk about it next show. It was something Ron did that made me. Wait, I remembered it. Hold on. I know the beer's through, but I got to tell you this.
Hurry up.
So, make that ring and go off in my ear.
Can't make it.
Thank you. So last night, Ron was reading, talking of Miss India or Miss America, whatever. Anyhow, Ron last night, Ron was reading it, and he was talking about somebody said, "This is Miss America, not India," or something like that. Ron says, "This guy's an idiot." He says, "I think he's just thinking about the United States of America and not America." I looked at him and I said, "Wait, what?" He went, "Yeah. I mean, India is in America." And I went, no, it's in Asia. And he goes, no. I went, "I think what you're thinking about is the globe." And he started laughing. He said, "Yeah, maybe I am." Then we got into talking about continents. Is it Australia is the only country continent? Or
you're asking me, or is this you telling me?
Yeah, I'm asking you. Like, I know there's Australia's a continent. Africa's...
New Zealand would be its own. I don't know.
No.
There's a globe right there, like 2 inches away from
Yeah,
you.
but it's not. They didn't have the continents on it. But Ron didn't know that India was in Asia. He thought Asia was a country, and he thought Africa was a...
All right, so Japan would be its own continent.
No.
What? Japan is in East Asia, but it's not connected to anything. It's an island off East Asia.
It's not a continent, though. You have to...
I see what you're saying. Well, all right, so
Asia...
All right. Greenland is its own continent.
North America, no. There are 8 continents, I believe. Google it real quick.
All right, we're running out of time.
Okay, never mind. But that was just my funny story, is that Ron was just like...
And this is the silent special guest we're talking about.
Yeah, silent special guest, so sorry. And then we're showing that our geography is terrible.
Yeah, and you have a college education. What's your excuse?
I'm not smarter than a 5th grader.
Obviously. We enjoyed it, guys. We hope you did too. And come on back next
School.
time, because school is out.
Little did you know I didn't care. Tired of her tragedies and her lies. I can go through hell all by myself. All wrapped up in broken dreams. I've been down and in between.
That's it, right? Because I've got to pee real bad.